Hello everybody, welcome back to Uncle Trev's garden. I'm here with Pete the parrot. Say hello, Pete.
Hello everybody.
We've been looking at birds today because we're trying to find out about some of the animals that come into our garden. Would you like to find out about some of the animals that come into our garden? Okay, we're going to take you through. We're going to start with our dog. Her name is Lucy. Here she is.
Yay!
So this is our beautiful dog, Lucy. She's a Cavalier King Charles, and she's nearly 13 years old now, which is quite old for dogs. She's been a great friend. We've really enjoyed having her as part of the family. Here are some pictures of her when she was a puppy. Wasn't she absolutely gorgeous? Yes, she was. Now let's find out about some of our other animals in our garden. The second lot of animals that we have in our garden are our chickens. You'll remember them from week 1. They're a bit hungry. Shall we go and feed them? Come on then, let's go. Okay, so the chickens are really hungry. Come on, girls. Have a nibble. They absolutely love bread. So have you ever seen a hen close up before? Come and have a look. At the top, you'll see they've got like a red crown. We call that the comb. And when it's red, it's really, really healthy. Their eyes are on the side of the head. Our eyes are on the front of our head, but their eyes are on the side so that they can see things side on. I don't know if you can see their ears. Can you see them just on the side, just behind the eyes? That's their ears. Very different from ours. And then if you look at their feet are enormous. They've got 3 long toes at the front and then a little toe almost at the back. They use them for perching and gripping on. I'm going to let her go now because I think she's getting a bit restless. So the third group of animals that come into our garden are all the birds. Have you noticed how many birds there are at the moment? They're everywhere. We've put up some bird boxes as well to try and encourage them to nest. Have a look at some of the pictures and videos of the birds in our garden. So there are lots of lessons that we can learn about animals. The first lesson is this, that God made them. He is the creator. Back in Genesis, you'll know that God made the heavens and the earth, and then he made the animals. After he made the animals, God said that they were good. He was happy with the animals. Then he made Adam and Eve, and he gave Adam the job of ruling over the animals and to give them names. So we must remember that we are different from the animals because we're made in the image of God, but the animals are still gifts from God. And so we must enjoy them. We must respect them. We must look after them and care for them. So the second lesson that we can learn about animals is it tells us a lot about God himself. Just think about those chickens that we saw before. Every hen gives me an egg every day and it's still warm in my hands. Can you imagine that? A hen creates one of these every single day. How clever is that? Now God designed them that way. He made them that way. He made their insides so that they are able, like a little egg factory, to be able to create an egg every day. He must be so clever. He must be so wonderful. And then think about all the different birds that we've seen in the garden. God must have an incredible imagination. that he's able to think of so many different types of birds. And then think about God as an artist. He thinks of all the different colours for the birds, all the different markings on the birds, the different shapes of their tails and their feathers and their wings and their beaks. How incredible is that? Because God is not just drawing them or painting them, he's actually making them. And then think about the birds again in the morning. I wake up every morning and all I hear is bird songs. You might be able to hear them now in the garden. Birds singing all the time. God's like an incredible musician, like a composer who's making all this beautiful music for us in the morning. So the second lesson is that when we look at the animals, it tells us a lot about God, his personality, his character. It's wonderful. So there's a third lesson that we can learn about the animals that come into our garden. Do you ever feel worried? Do you ever feel a bit sad? We're in lockdown at the moment and lots of people are worrying, aren't they, about different things. Well, God knows that we worry. Do you know what he said? Jesus said to a group of people one day, if you're worried, look at the birds. Because your Heavenly Father looks after them. He cares for them. He makes sure that they've got a place to live and he makes sure that they've got food to eat. And you are much more valuable to God than the birds. So if your Heavenly Father looks after them, how much more will he look after you? So don't worry about tomorrow. I think the birds have been looking after themselves by helping themselves to some of my strawberries. But they're not having them all. Wow, Pete, this is so interesting. Migration. These birds that we're reading about here now escape the winter and they fly to warm weather places. Wow, and then in the spring, they fly all the way back again.
Wow.
It's amazing. At migration time, birds get fat to give them the energy they need for the journey.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And then birds gather together before migration and travel in large flocks. This means they all leave at the right time and nobody gets lost. Even the geese fly in a V formation. This means they always see the bird in front, which leads the way.
Wow.
It's absolutely incredible. Wow, well, we've learnt so much today about the animals that come into our garden and especially the birds. So many lessons to learn. God made them. He made them and he said they were good. And we should enjoy them.
Yes.
God is the creator. How amazing is God to have a mind like that? And then finally, are you worried? Look at the birds. If God cares for them, how much more does he care for you and for me? It's been good talking to you again. May God bless you. Say bye, Pete.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Hey, Pete, did you like that?